Welcome back to Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm Doug Sabo with Visa, and this is another session of Voices of Inclusion. We're coming to you live today from the William Jefferson Clinton Presidential Center here, and I'm pleased to be joined by Premal Shah. Premal is the president of Kiva.org, a well-known, internationally recognized platform that brings the internet community to the field of microcredit. Premal, thank you so much for joining us today. People know the topic of access to finance and microcredit as a developing market, an emerging market topic. We're here today, in part, to talk about the Kiva City program, a US-focused program. Tell us about Kiva City and why this is an issue for the United States.
Sure. So if you look at small businesses in the United States, we know that they are by far the engine of job creation. So 2/3 of all jobs created in the last 20 years are from small businesses, and there's 20 million micro-enterprises. These are businesses with 5 employees or fewer in the United States, 10 million of which are underserved by banks and kind of the existing system today. And in comes microfinance institutions around the United States, and there are 400 of them. And we've heard from our partners that oftentimes the biggest constraint is that small businesses and local communities don't know that there are other options, that awareness of options to get capital can be a real constraint. And so Kiva, as a really popular website, has an ability to generate awareness city by city, and that's what Kiva City is, around new options for small businesses that are struggling to access capital from traditional sources, and now can go to local field partners that Kiva works with.
Okay, great. And tell us about what the borrower profile looks like. You're bringing borrowers to life on the Kiva platform. What do these borrowers in the United States look like?
Sure. I mean, it ranges from home-based daycares to a local grocery store to a hair salon. The businesses are as creative as the mind can imagine. And, you know, oftentimes, if you are just starting a business, for example, it's really difficult to get a loan because you don't have any cash flows to prove that you're really creditworthy. Or maybe your credit score might not really capture the merits of your idea or the character of your person. And so what we're looking to do is go back to the way banking was done almost 100 years ago, which was character-based lending. And it's an issue of cost, which is how do we, in a day where there's more and more automation to bring down costs and reach a lot of people, there's still people who are left out. Is there a way that we can use trust networks? For example, you and I know each other, Doug. I'd vouch for you. And could we allow people in the community to vouch for each other? And when they vouch for each other, they get a starter loan of $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000. And then from there, they can graduate to mainstream loans from banks.
Premal, I would vouch for you too.
Thanks.
I want to clear that up for the record.
Awesome, awesome.
The borrowers that come onto the platform, is this popular with your internet community?
You know, what's been really interesting is Kiva has historically been known as an international development website, helping low-income entrepreneurs in the developing world. And in 2009, we launched in the United States. And what's been fascinating is 2 things. The first is, of the 70 countries that Kiva allows you to fund borrowers in, the United States is the second most popular in terms of rate of funding. The only country more popular is the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The second thing that's interesting is when people lend to a US borrower on Kiva, we watched their activity over the next couple of years since 2009, and they've put in loans to people in 2 to 3 other countries. So what we've seen is that instead of being in the US as something that kind of shrinks the pie of money that's going to people elsewhere, it's actually something that's meeting more people where they're at, because people like to invest in their backyard and they like to invest abroad. And it's really interesting to watch people from even abroad investing into businesses here.
Now, microcredit in the past has been an issue recognized in the finance community and the development community. And Kiva has played an important role in bringing it to the masses, making microcredit a household name and accessible to so many other people. You have a number of significant fans of Kiva, President Clinton, Oprah. How has this come about? How have you turned microcredit into something that my parents can understand and give me a Kiva gift certificate for Christmas?
Well, it's such a simple concept, which is starting with the idea that, and I think this is what makes the world go around, it's believing in each other. And you have entrepreneurs all around the planet with an idea, a burning desire in their heart to put that idea in motion, to improve the lives of their family and their community. And oftentimes they can't get the support that they need, whether it's capital or maybe someone helping them out with some of the issues in starting a small business or growing that small business. And my sense is that instead of donating and not being able to connect with where that money goes, if you can actually invest in someone, and if that person does well, they pay you back, and then you can turn around and reinvest it in some other person, that's such a simple, basic concept. And it's inspired by believing in each other, it's sustained by trust, and it's enabled by technologies of today. So whether it's online payments or it's kind of using the web and the social graph, we're on the right side of a lot of trends that basically make it more and more possible for people to connect with one another around opportunity.
Is there a most inspiring story that you'd like to share that comes to mind that really makes this all worth it?
One thing that is incredibly inspiring is we have just rolled out a new program where we're allowing people to vouch for other people. And then we're sending the money directly to that person. And that program is called Kiva Zip. And one thing that's interesting, as it's a small pilot right now, but in San Francisco, there is a gentleman by the name of Victor. And Victor is a recent Mexican-born immigrant. He wanted to start a coffee shop in San Francisco, was unable to qualify from a loan from a local bank, but he had graduated from a business training course from the Mission Economic Development Agency. It's a technical assistance provider in the Mission District of San Francisco. After graduating from that program, his trainer, the person who provided the workshop training, really believed in Victor and wanted to vouch for him. So we allowed him to vouch for Victor and Victor's first $5,000 loan. And because it was a startup business, he could not get money from anywhere. Well, he's now paid back that $5,000 loan, and by the way, 67 people chipped in for that $5,000 loan. And now we're allowing Victor to endorse other people in his community. So he's now endorsed Rocio. Rocio is a house cleaner in San Francisco. She needed a $3,000 loan to buy an automobile so she could clean more houses per day. Rocio has been overlooked. Historically, her credit scores don't tell her full character, but Victor knows her, and Victor's vouching for her. Now, Rocio's paying back on time, so we've now allowed Rocio to vouch for someone else, and Rocio is now vouching for Eva. Eva is an electronic seller who sells at a lot of the local flea markets in San Francisco, and we're starting to see what's seen, what you say in internet terms, a viral spread. And the whole thing I'm excited about is not just these individuals' abilities to start their own business, grow their own business, and ultimately graduate off of the Kiva platform to local mainstream banks, but that they can take that creditworthiness that they have and turn around and be a hero for someone else.
It's great to see the cycle just continue on through your model. You talked about technology and innovation. So something on the horizon that you're seeing where innovation is going to be coming into the Kiva model, the Kiva platform?
One thing I get excited about, if you look at basically, I think the issue today of why are there 10 million microenterprises in the United States that are underserved, and microfinance today has reached maybe about 100,000 people. I think the issue comes down to cost. The cost of a loan is several-fold. One is there's customer acquisition. How do you build awareness? How do people even know that there's the option of getting a microloan? The second part of the thing is the credit evaluation. Oftentimes, a potential borrower might come in with a shoebox full of receipts, and you have to work through, create a cash flow statement, and do some real serious work. And so it might not be so profitable to lend a $50,000 loan or less. The third is loan servicing. You have to go out there to the field, collect the money. And fourth is the defaults can be higher, especially when businesses have lumpy cash flows. And so I think two things are going to change the world in the next 100 years. One is technology, and the second is trust networks. Let me get into the technology piece. The technology piece, with online payment systems, whether it's enabled by Visa, things like PayPal, or abroad mobile payment systems like M-Pesa, or what's happening in Uganda with MTN, essentially the cost of actually reaching people is going to go down because everything's going to be more digital. But the second thing that's going to happen is trust networks, whether it's your Yelp feedback rating, or your LinkedIn recommendations, or the person down the street who basically is willing to vouch for you, and that person has really great eBay feedback scores. Those kind of online trust systems are going to help add, I'd say, new information beyond the credit score that will hopefully allow us to reach people who've been long overlooked.
That's great. Thank you so much. And Visa is proud to partner with Kiva on the Kiva City program, and we're terrific to be here together today. Premal Shah, president of Kiva.org. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Doug.
This is Doug Sabo with Voices of Inclusion, coming to you from Little Rock, Arkansas, the site of the William Jefferson Clinton Presidential Center. Thank you.